Hey everyone, Angus here with Iron Bow Fly Shop. Today we're going to be tying up a quill body parachute BWO. So you can tie this anywhere between a size 14 and a size 20, depending on the size of the bugs you're seeing. Right now typically they're 18 to 20 range. Typically tied in an olive color, like so. Neat thing about this pattern is you can use a couple different materials for tailing, different colors for thorax and the dubbing. You can use different colored quill bodies. So it's a very versatile parachute pattern that I always keep in some of my boxes. So today we're going to be tying it in an olive color. So we're going to start today, going to be using UTC 70 denier in olive. I'm going to tie this on a Daiichi 1180 in a size 14. Just going to start getting a good thread base here. Trim off the excess when we get to the barb. We're going to tie in our Mayfly tails next. Today we're going to be using medium dun. So when I tie these in, I like to usually pick out 5 or 6 if I'm just going to tie them in straight. You can also tie in 3 separate ones and pull a piece of thread through. So I'm going to measure that about a shank length. Tie it in on top of the shank here. And we're just going to go back to that barb. Work our thread forward. We're just going to trim off the excess here. Then our next step here, we're going to tie in our post. So you're going to use Chernobyl afterglow fiber. I like this material, it's very easy to work with when you're tying posts. Fold it in half. So we're just going to tie this in here. Again, fold it around our thread. Made this one a little small. That's okay. So we're going to tie that in about between the eye of the hook and the barb. So get a couple of good tight wraps around the base. Pull everything up. Do a couple figure 8 wraps around it just to make sure everything's nice and secure. Another option too is you can always place your hook vertically in the vise. Sometimes it just makes that post a little easier to tie in. So we're going to go back to where we've tied in our Mayfly tails here. We're going to tie in our turkey Biot quill. So today we're going to be using olive. And they make these in a bunch of different colors too. So if you want to tie PMDs, they have a PMD color, mahogany, purple, you name it, they've probably got it. So we're going to trim off one Biot here. We're going to just tie it in from the tip. Make sure that's nice and secure. We work our thread forward here, create a little bit of a taper. So once we have everything kind of where we want it, I'm going to come in here with a little bit of Zap-A-Gap. I'm just going to apply it with a bodkin. A very messy bodkin. Make sure everything's out of the way. This just helps secure that Biot. I'm going to come in here with my Hackle pliers. And I'm just going to start rotating my vise. So once I get this tied in to the base of my post, I'm just going to tie it off. Then our next step here is we're going to tie in our hackle. So now that I've measured my hackle for the right size of fly, I'm just going to tie it in just behind the eye here. I'm just going to get a couple securing wraps around the post. Just kind of orient the feather. So now that I've got it tied on the post here, we can start with our thorax. So today we're going to be using Hareline Superfine dry fly dubbing in olive. You don't have to use a lot of this stuff. Just a very sparse amount. I'm just going to figure eight that post. And I can come in here with my whip finish tool. I'm just going to finish off the front section of this fly. I'm just going to do two because I've got room. Cut off the remainder of our thread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this in the vise. So now that we've got our hook oriented the way we want it, we can start our thread base on our post here. And we don't want to go super high up. Cut off our thread. Make sure that my feather is going to go the way I want it to. Because what we're going to do next here is we're going to put a little drop of Zap-A-Gap on our post. So rather than fiddling around with our hackle and super glue, it's best to have it the right way the first time and have a little bit of super glue in your hackle. I'm just going to start wrapping. Usually like to do 5 to 6 turns, maybe a couple extra around the bottom. I'm going to tie this off here. Just a couple of tight wraps. Then I'm actually going to come in here and just whip finish this then trim everything at the end. Trim off our hackle. All that's left here is just trim off our post. You can leave it longer if you'd like. I like mine a little bit shorter. And there you have it. That is a finished quill body parachute BWO.